At 19 years old, a young man thought he had everything figured out. He believed what most people believe. Work hard, stay consistent, and one day you'll be rich. So he did exactly that. He woke up early, worked long hours, said yes to every opportunity, pushed himself every single day. But after years of effort, something didn't make sense. He wasn't broke, but he wasn't rich either. And the most frustrating part, he was working harder than people who were already ahead of him. That's when he realized something uncomfortable, something nobody had told him before. Working hard is not the same as getting rich. Now pause for a second, because this is where most people get it wrong. We've all been told the same story, that hard work equals success. That if you just keep grinding, everything will eventually fall into place. But if that was true, then everyone working hard would be rich. And we both know that's not reality. So what's really going on? The truth is, becoming rich is not just about effort, it's about leverage. Leverage is what separates people who work hard from people who actually build wealth. Think about it like this. If you work a job, you are trading time for money, 1 hour of your life, for a fixed amount of income. That means there's a limit. No matter how hard you work, there are only 24 hours in a day. So even if you increase your income, you're still capped. Now compare that to someone who builds leverage. They create something once, and it keeps paying them over and over again. A business, a skill, content, investments. That's where things start to change. Because now, money is not tied directly to time anymore. And that's the first truth most people don't hear. Here's the second one. Becoming rich often requires doing things that don't pay immediately. And this is where most people quit, because we live in a world where everything feels urgent. Bills, needs, pressure. So naturally, people focus on what pays now, not what builds later. But the problem is, what pays now usually keeps you where you are, while what builds later feels slow, uncertain, and uncomfortable. And that's why most people avoid it. Now let's go back to that young man. After years of working hard, he made a decision. Instead of chasing quick money, he started building something. At first, nothing happened. No results, no recognition, no money, just effort. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Still nothing. And this is the part nobody shows you. Because success stories skip this phase, the quiet phase, the invisible phase, where it feels like nothing is working. But here's what was actually happening. He was building leverage, slowly, quietly, until one day, something clicked. Opportunities started showing up, money started coming in, things began to move, and suddenly, it looked like overnight success. But it wasn't. It was delayed results. And that's the third truth. Success doesn't always come when you expect it. It comes when the foundation is ready. Now here's the part most people won't like. Becoming rich requires patience. A level of patience that most people don't have, because it means working without immediate reward, staying consistent without validation, continuing even when it feels pointless. And that's uncomfortable. So people quit early. They switch paths. They start over, again and again, never staying long enough to see results. And this is why many people stay stuck. Not because they lack effort, but because they lack direction and patience. Now think about this. What if the goal is not to work harder, but to work on the right things? What if it's not about doing more, but doing things that scale? Because once something scales, your effort multiplies. And that's how wealth is built. Not through constant hustle alone, but through systems that grow beyond you. So the real truth about becoming rich is this. It's not fast, it's not easy, and it's definitely not what most people expect. But it is possible if you're willing to think differently, play the long game, and build instead of just working. Because at the end of the day, the people who win are not just the ones who work hard. They're the ones who understand the game. If this changed how you see things, then you're already ahead of most people. So make sure you like this video and subscribe to Wealth Files. Because here, we don't just talk about money. We expose the truth behind it. And once you understand the truth, you move differently. Forever.